beautiful people. It's me, Dashama. I'm so excited to be back here. Today's new moon session. We do this every new moon, every full moon. We have a live session right here on my channel. And today's session, we're going to do some yoga, some breath work, some mantras and kriyas to clear any stuck or blocked energy, raise your vibration, balance your chakras, and then we'll be doing a manifestation practice in order to call in the next level for your life. So leave a comment. Let me know if you're excited about that. I certainly am. And one of the things that I love so much about our flow state community, and that I really always want to impart to our tribe, basically, is that the purpose of any of these practices is not just so that you can have these practices, you can teach them in a class, but really they're for ourselves too. So one of the things that keeps you practicing is to teach. And that's one thing that I learned early on, and when I went to my first yoga teacher training 17 years ago, and I really only went for my own benefit, right? I needed healing. I needed to clear some grief and some trauma and all sorts of stuff. And so I went to the yoga teacher training for my own healing, and I ended up coming out of there so impassioned and enthusiastic about the power that these practices have to completely shift our energy and raise our vibration. So, for example, I went into my first yoga teacher training. I was depressed. I was completely depressed because I was working like a 9-to-5 job I was just out of college, so I was like 1 year working this 9-to-5 job. And at the same time, besides for that 40-hour work week, I also was doing a business on the side. So I was working like, I don't know, maybe 20 hours a day, it felt like. And I did that for over a year, maybe even a year and a half. And I got so depressed. And people underestimate, actually, burnout and depression go hand in hand. Like a lot of times people might think, well, there's different reasons for getting depressed. So I just want to mention that, like if you know anybody or if you yourself have ever been depressed, a lot of times it's obviously connected to our emotions, but what is the really root of that, right? It's usually something more. So, for example, your gut, I talk about this all the time. Your gut is where we produce all of our happiness hormones, right? Like 90% of the happiness hormones are created in our gut. So if we have a toxic gut, we'll call that, then it can block the flow of those hormones to be released and for us to feel them even, so that's an interesting thing most people don't realize. So anyway, that's why one of the aspects of the Flow State Institute and at our trainings and retreats, we always really also focus on cleansing. And cleansing can come in many forms, but one of them is the energy work that we're going to do today. And another one is just like physical cleansing, like with your digestion. Like we'll do like a juice fast or like the goddess cleanse or even dry fasting. I mean, there's several different options. They're all various levels of extremity with various potential for transformation. But you'll notice that as you release toxins out of your gut, we'll say, what happens is, good morning, what happens is that you will actually start to feel your energy and your vibration naturally lifting and rising and coming out of what could be considered depression. Because depression, it's like a low energy. It feels like dead energy. And when you get stuck into an energy like that, and sometimes that can happen if something big happens in your life too, like maybe you go through a breakup. That's also what happened to me. Like when I was 24 and I went through this huge depression for a year, and I went through this breakup, and I moved out of my home, and I quit my job, and it was just like everything at once. I was like, cut it off. And it was just a knowing, and that's the power also of listening to your soul. It was a knowing that I needed to let go of all the old that wasn't working, the broken life that I thought was the dream, and I had to completely walk away from that in order to recreate a more aligned fulfilling, joyous, beautiful energy in my life. And it meant breaking up with the boyfriend. It meant leaving that house even. It meant leaving the job. It was literally like everything all at once. And sometimes it happens like that. And sometimes it's more subtle. So maybe you're in a season where it's more subtle. Like you're just like, I'm going to go to my teacher training. I'm going to become a teacher. And so if you're in the more subtle, I think that's I congratulate you, because that's the more graceful path, right? The other path is like the path of the phoenix. The path of the phoenix is like, I burned everything and there's nothing left, and so I'm rising out of the ashes with flaming fire, and I'm going to be a whole different version, 2.0, of who I used to be. And so I leave the old me in the fire and I rise into my power. So there's different ways of going about it. Sometimes we go through these like gradual evolution energy, and sometimes it's just like a complete extinction of the past. And like kind of sometimes you can stand in the divine presence of nothingness, not even knowing what the future is, but just knowing that the past and what that wasn't aligned, and that the new energy that you're cultivating and the new life that you're creating is, you can always know if it's more aligned. It's because you feel something, right? Like if you go from depressed to like excited about life, that's a good sign. Or if you go, from like any kind of low emotion to feeling like, some kind of like a higher emotion, a higher positive state, that's when you can trust that you're moving in the right direction. But if you're kind of like going from low emotion to a different low emotion, then like maybe that's not the way. So personally, I've always kind of been a very feeling person. And if you're a very feeling person, feel free to leave a comment, let me know. But feeling people, sentient people, we're all sentient in our own way, but certain people are more sensitive to the energy. And so sensitive people tend to internalize all of this external energy. So then you can take on energy of the world. Like if you watch the news or anything, like you can take on energy from the world and feel like it's your own, and then that's a whole nother aspect to navigate, is like really realizing what is you and what is the collective. And that's important too in the process of becoming more sovereign in your journey of this. Madison says, good morning. Yeah, this is hitting so hard and well. Thank you. I'm happy I came. I've been letting go all waning moon. I'm literally reading a life-changing book called Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender. Oh, beautiful. All so good. Thank you. Thank you. I keep being a phoenix. Yes. Amazing. That's something that I actually was thinking about one day. There are different types of people. Everybody has their life journey. So if you're not the person that you feel like everything's always like kind of burning and like you're rising out of this destruction and like creating a new self like every year or every period of time, then you're lucky, It's kind of hard. I've been on that path for my whole life, and I feel like we'll just stop for a moment, just say, it's 11:11. We're going to send a quick prayer. Blessings to all beings on the earth, especially the mothers, the children, the people that are being affected in Ukraine and Iran and the countries that are being hit the hardest with the global climate crisis. Everybody who is alive on this planet right now, may they have food, water, shelter, abundance of whatever they need, and the support necessary in order to achieve their divine life purposes. And so it is. I like to send prayers out at 11:11 for the world, and I think that the more we pray for the world, honestly, we are the world, right? We're part of that. So you're praying for yourself, but it's a nice energy to also include everyone. If you're just like, please God, give me all my dreams, it's kind of like self-focused. It's nice to spread the love to the world. Okay, so just what I was saying about the phoenix, I just wanted to finish that really quick by saying that, it's an interesting thing. So leave a comment if you, like Madison said, she's the person that has gone through these periods of extinction. And even I think Madison's only 23. So when you know that at the 23 age, it's good, because then you know yourself. One thing that I'll give as a word of wisdom from being 41 now and from my whole life being this way was that I think that there are certain people that it's just your path. Like, for example, I always kind of had this idea like, oh, one day it'll be different, right? And maybe it can. I think what really changes more than like what happens outside of us is how we respond to that. So like, for example, if like really difficult things happen, instead of like falling apart and being like, oh my God, life is so hard, instead you can look at it like, wow, what a blessing. This is happening for me, and look at it from that third party, what we call like the observer created reality, the OCR, which is like seeing it from a higher perspective outside of yourself. And truly, with wisdom, when you look at it from there, you can say, wow, okay, I can see how this is happening for me. And I can see how this energy that I'm letting go of is an expired energy that isn't serving me. And it's presenting itself in the form of people or a work experience or a living situation or your career or your finances or whatever aspect of your life that kind of like energy seems to be recurring. And you look at it and you say, wow, thank you. You know, you can really be grateful and see the blessing of the awareness of it, because the awareness is the first step. So it's always like, okay, you see it, that's the awareness. Now the second step, of course, is like choosing to let it go, right? So that's kind of the hard part. That's why a lot of people stay in relationships that are toxic or that are not serving them. You know, you see people that are married for like 50 years, but they're really not that compatible, or they don't really get along. You know, and then you see other people, you know, and they're just like so happy and they're just full of joy together and they're like mutual love and support. And so when you see that these two things are available and your situation is not the one that's joy, you know, just trust that like if you do choose to let go of whatever it is that's not the path of joy in your life, that as you close the door and what I could say like bury the dead, right, whatever you want to call it, that creates space for the fertile soil of your life to welcome in the new, whatever that new energy is that you're calling in. So you have to close doors and you have to cut certain energies off, people off, opportunities, say no, create boundaries in your life in order to create the space. And sometimes there's a space in between and it feels like nothing's happening. You're like, why is like nothing happening? Or like maybe it's not nothing, but it's very little. You know, like let's say like, for example, the space between a breakup and finding the love of your life, there's this space which is called being single. Right, whatever. So there's these different situations. So as we get comfortable in those places, those space in between, and not see it like, I can't wait to get to the next thing. Instead, really cherish this time as well, because, you know, this time will only last so long. And if you truly do believe and trust that the next thing that's coming in, now that you've created space, is better, more aligned, and it's going to be a higher version for you, then relaxing into the trust for that is so powerful. It is a true divine feminine energy to truly just relax into the trust of the knowing and the trust, I would say like trust in God, that the divine source loves you, is supporting you, and wants you to be happy, and therefore celebrating you when you have let go of the toxic energy or whatever was bringing you down, and celebrating you in the season in between, preparing you, mind, body, and soul, for the really aligned, very beautiful, higher version of you. And so during that period, leave a comment if you're in that period. I mean, everybody's in a different season. That's why I talked about that last week in our live session about being in different seasons of your life. You know, so some people are in that season in between. Some people are in the season of things burning and like letting go. And then some people are in that season in between, the preparation, right? And then some people are in the season of receiving and the season of celebration, the season, like, let's say maybe you're getting married, or maybe you're having a baby, or whatever the thing, maybe like graduating from college, or something that you've been working on for years is like finally completion. So there's these cycles and seasons of life, right? So whatever season you're in, I want to give you a moment to just sit with that. Like, what season am I in? And you might even be in a season in one area of your life and it's different in a different area. Like, for example, maybe you're in the season of celebration in your relationship, but you're a season of waiting or preparation in your career, right? So if you're in the teacher training with us for the Flow State Institute and you're, learning this new amazing path, how to teach it and how to create a whole life and career around that, whether you want to lead retreats or create online courses or do one-on-one coaching or lead classes or workshops, whatever you want to do, but like creating that vision for yourself and like building the skills and getting the certification and going through the process of that, that's what I would call like that preparation, that space in between. So like you're not in the death and destruction, and maybe you could be along the journey of that, particularly because flow state does have a way of healing, bringing up stuff that needs to be released. But then from the fertile soil of like that new energy, that's where today in our session we're going to be, because it's a new moon, planting the seeds of the vision of that next stage. And then also, if you're in the next stage, you can also just celebrate, but also it's like cycles. So you go back into what is the next level from here, right? That's something that Tony Robbins said one time, which I really resonated with, which was, whenever you climb mountains, because think about it, if you're a billionaire like Tony Robbins and, he's impacted so many people, whenever you are climbing mountains, he calls it, or whatever, like you're going towards a goal, we'll call that climbing a mountain. You go towards a goal. When you reach the goal, let's say, it takes 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, however long it takes. Maybe it's even like a 10-day goal. Who knows? You reach the top of that mountain, and then what happens there is you look out and you realize there's lots more mountains to climb. And that's the interesting thing. So it's not like, I have made it. And then you just stop climbing mountain. I mean, from there, obviously, you got to kind of get down. But that's not part of the story. The main thing is that you look out from the peak of the mountain when you've just spent all this time climbing up and getting to the goal of whatever you're aspiring to create, whether you're creating a home, creating a family, creating a relationship, creating a career, creating a life, creating a health routine, that once you have it and you feel really, really like you've succeeded in that, then you look out and you see, okay, now that's the next one I want to climb over there. And it's part of what makes life joyous, right? It's like, okay, this is the fun of life. Like literally climbing mountains, when it's a very much like a metaphor, but climbing mountains is fun. Maybe for you, like you're not a mountain person, so maybe you're like, well, actually, I would probably like to think of it more like, swimming with dolphins or whatever. But like even for that, like with that metaphor, for example, if you're swimming with some dolphins and you're like, this is great. But like I used to do that every week in Hawaii, and when I lived in Hawaii. And it was amazing. But then there was a point where I got to a place where I was like, okay, well, I've done this like every week for 6 years or something. And it got to be like, what else is over there? What's over there now? And then I ended up moving to Bali for a while. So anyway, we go through these cycles where, once we get to the top of the mountain, whatever that looks like for us, then we're looking like, okay, well, let's try something new. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that that's very, very human, and it's very healthy to want to, try something new and go to a new heights for yourself. So leave a comment if this resonates. I really love to hear where you guys are at with your aspirations, and also if you're aware of what season you're in, feel free to share that. The idea of, are you in the season of letting go, you're in the season of preparation, or you're in the season of celebration. Those are like the three. Let's see, I have a good comment here from Madison. I've been calling the past year my Taylor Swift reputation season. Her album, for anyone who knows, if you know, you know. Basically being myself and not giving an F about what anybody thinks of who I am, which is all love and light. Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, actually, that's such a good point, because for anybody who's not really into Taylor Swift or doesn't know her, I personally only know a few of her songs. She's not fully my generation. She was a generation after me. She's more like Madison's generation. But I do know some of her songs. And one of the things about Taylor Swift, I mean, first of all, she's been awarded, I think, the #1 artist on the planet. She's really exceptional. And I think that you don't even have to like her music to really respect her, because what she does and why she's so successful, I believe, besides her talent and her beauty, but a lot of the artists are all beautiful and talented. So what makes someone like Taylor Swift like number one artist on the planet kind of thing? Like how do you get to that? And I feel it was because the music she creates, she writes a lot of it herself, and she writes it from her experiences that she's having with relationships, with friends, with life. And then she shares it through a song. And like literally you got billions of people on the planet that are going through something similar, whether it's a breakup or a thing with a friend or whatever it is. She's just like singing about real life in the raw, right? In the raw, like not just like sugarcoating it like, oh yeah, he broke up with me, it was horrible. It's like she'll like cry on stage, you know, like she'll really feel, and she'll help people to feel. And that's something that even in this profession as a teacher, you know, if you can help people to really feel, that's what people want. That's what people need, is to feel, you know, and not just feel like if they're feeling depressed, like feel more depressed. You don't want them to feel more depressed. You want to help them to feel hope, help them to look up, help them to feel inspired for the next level. Like this kind of feelings, right? You want to help them to feel something where they're like able to see you as the light, and be able to have somebody that's guiding them towards that if they're going through a hard place, for example. Rosie says, hey everyone, I love the metaphor of climbing the mountain, but how long should you stay at the top? Sometimes the satisfaction is really short-lived. Hey Rosie, that's a good question actually. You know, here's the thing. So if you say like, how long should you stay at the top? It depends on what you consider the top, right? So like if the top for you is like, let's just give an example. Let's say the top for you is you wanted to meet the man of your dreams and get married. Let's say that's like the pinnacle of that relationship thing, which is finding your love and being married. So the top of that is like, okay, you got married. So what next? You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you have to right away start having kids or something. But like what next, in the sense of like for your relationship, you can even keep spiraling your relationship up. Maybe the next stage for you is co-creating something beautiful together, and then that can be the next thing. So it depends. But like with career, here's another example. Let's say you're like mountain peak for your career was like, I want to make $1 million. And then like you made the $1 million. And then you're like, okay, well, what next? Because then after a while, like for example, with that kind of mountain peak, you realize it's very short lived. Like you made the $1 million. That's good, because it'll never, you know, like once that's happened, no one can take that away from you necessarily. They could take the money, but they can't take the experience of that. But so let's say you had that as a goal and then you manifested that. What's the next stage up, right? I think at some point you start putting out goals that are more altruistic, and then that becomes the next mountain peak. Instead of I want to make $1 million, maybe it's I want to impact 1 million people or something like that. And you kind of like can make your next peak even deeper on a soul level so that it's more fulfilling, right? So if you're like, I want to impact 1 million people, you'll by virtue of doing that, you'll make millions of dollars probably, but like it'll be more rewarding and fulfilling on a soul level. And so there's different ways of going about like setting these goals, and then like kind of assessing when you reach them, and then looking to the future of like, okay, what does the next goal look like for me? Like I've talked to a lot of successful people in my life. I know billionaires and like lots of like super wealthy, successful, I mean, different types of success. But the main thing is like, everybody always talks about the same thing. Like once you've made money, for example, it's never about the money after that. Like, I mean, you need basic money to like pay your bills, to get the things you need. But then after that, what you really on a soul level want, what everybody really craves, is to be fulfilled, to feel fulfilled. And money doesn't do that. Money only gets you what you need, but like the fulfillment comes from the impact that you make, from the heart-to-heart connections that you create with people, and with Mother Earth, or like there's certain things, everybody has their own things. Maybe you could share, if you want, in the comments, like what are your, if you know, what things fulfill you, right? So that even if there was no money, but like if this thing happened, that you would feel fulfilled, right? So it's like, okay, well, if you were able to like solve world hunger, for example, let's say there was no money in it for you, but like you could do that. Wouldn't that be fulfilling, right? But then at the same time, obviously your mind might go and start thinking, but yeah, it'd be nice to have money too. So you want to have both kind of goals depending on what your soul is asking from you, and you don't want to judge any of that. Like you don't want to look at it like, oh, I shouldn't be wanting money, or I shouldn't, you know what I mean? Because those are kind of like, if your soul wants that, it's okay. Like it's part of your journey here. And maybe there's a part of your soul that knows that if you had millions of dollars, that you could do more good in the world, and that you would, because you'd be the type of person that would give to children or create a school or whatever your situation, that you would be that person with the money. So when you're putting the goal out, you should also, I would suggest, plant the seed in the universe, we'll call it, but in your heart, in your mind, like plant the seed that the goal is for a bigger reason, right? So it's like, okay, I want to make more money, but like I want to do that so I can be of greater service, so I can make a bigger impact, so that I can leave a legacy, whatever the feeling. But like just I always think like try to be as least in the ego about it, because the more you are in your spirit about your goal setting, then it's more fulfilling, right? The ego goals never really fulfill you. And that's what I hear all the time from everybody that I know that's like billionaires and stuff. I mean, they have so much money, but it's like what really fulfills you is being able to make a difference, like really make a difference. And I hope that answers the question. Let's see. Madison says, all of this is hitting so hard, Dashama. I love and appreciate you so much. So much fulfills me. I love helping people learn and heal and love themselves and be mindful and follow their hearts. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah. Those are all really, really beautiful things to feel fulfilled with, and everybody's is unique, so it's not like it matters, like there's no like right or wrong on that. It's just whatever is for you, right? Some people, what's the most fulfilling is like singing, right? Or like chanting mantra to the divine, and that's beautiful too, so like they're all good, there's no like right or wrong or something. But let's see, Madison says, she said up here, man, this is such a beautiful message for me. I'm finally starting to pursue my music career. Wow. And I write music that is real and helps them feel too. I want to write affirmation, uplifting songs. Thank you so much. Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. Rosie says, 100% love the way you worded that. Thanks a million. Oh, you're welcome. I love you. Singing and yoga light me up as well. That's so beautiful. Actually, today we're going to be singing together, and so I'm happy that you said that. In fact, it was so interesting what happened yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw on my Instagram story, but I posted on the story yesterday. What happened was so interesting, and it was literally the universe, like in divine perfect timing and order, literally. So for those of you who know my situation, my my puppy, my little dog Mia Moore, had babies. She had 5 babies actually. This girl Bianca that I used to be friends with, I'll tell the story in a minute. Basically, this girl Bianca, her dog and my dog had been like kind of boyfriend girlfriend. Like they would always like play and hump each other. They were around the same age, same size. They were like so cute. And he's a Pomeranian. Anyway, one day he got her pregnant. It was actually this summer. It was on my birthday. She had never had sex before. He had never had sex before either, I found out. They were virgins. They had, the first time they had sex, they got pregnant. Anyway, so they got pregnant. And I didn't really know fully what that would entail. I was like, oh, okay, great. We'll have babies, puppies, it'll be great. And there was a part of me that felt that this friend that her dog got my dog pregnant would like be a part of it, because I thought, we're friends. Like you would think like you want to be a part of it, right? That's the thing. But what happened was, it was very strange timing for her, because at that same time, on that same day, she had just found out that she got uterus cancer. Like she had like a big tumor there. She didn't know. And so she was going through this like shock and everything about finding that out on the same day. And it was my birthday. So I spent my whole birthday this year kind of like holding space for her. And she was crying a lot and stuff because of this news she had found out about her, this tumor. So anyway, my dog was pregnant, and the pregnancy only lasts 2 months with dogs. So anyway, she had the babies in September, and what happened was, so the girl came over on the day of the birth, and she helped a little with the birth, and then she left, and there was 4 babies that were born, and I knew there was another one in there because I could feel the head. And all of a sudden, 5 a.m., Mia Moore gets up, screams, and pushes out another baby. And the baby was born blue and dead, basically. I tried to give it CPR, and I was really trying to resuscitate, which is really crazy. I mean, I never had anything like that happen before. But anyway, the little dog was dead. So I put it in this gauze, and I put it in a little, biodegradable bag, and I was like, okay, I want to bury this little puppy, and I'm going to do a ceremony about its life, and I want to honor its life, and I felt that there was probably some symbology there, because even my mother had 5, actually she would have had 6 children, but 2 of them didn't make it. One was born dead as well, and another one was miscarriage. But anyway, the point was that I kept this little dead puppy in the freezer for almost 3 months, and the girl kept saying, oh, I'm gonna come over, and she never came over, not once in like almost 3 months to see the puppies, to help, nothing. And she was like, I'm so busy. And like one day she was like, she hurt her knee because she was working out too hard. But she was always like, I'm too busy to come over. But she was like not too busy to like work out so hard that she hurt her knee. And I was like, well, obviously you make time for what is a priority. And like ultimately this was a big lesson in like that sense of like people who are selfish versus people that are more like givers or like want to show up with integrity and stuff. So like when someone's like, I'm so busy, what that means is that they don't feel that you or your situation is a priority for them, so they're not making time. It never means that they don't have time. It always means that they don't feel it's a priority or it's not important. Because everybody has the same 24 hours, right? So it's like you make time for what you feel is important. So she didn't think it was important to be involved in these puppies at all. And she even said to me, she's like, I'm supposed to get the pick of the litter. And I was like, why? I was like, Mia Moore should pick because she's the mother and she's the one birthing and feeding these babies. And she even ended up in the emergency room from having a low calcium and all these things, right? Anyway, long story short, she never came in 3 months. And I kept saying, and so finally I was like, well, if you want one of these puppies, you have to pay for it because like this is a lot of work. I have literally not slept for months because of having babies in my house. Like I wasn't expecting it to be that much work, but it was just like, it was a whole journey. But anyway, long story short, finally, because the puppies are starting to go to their new homes now. They're all like grown up. They're like almost 3 months. And finally she came yesterday to see them. And she came, and it was interesting because the dad came up to the babies and like hurt one of them, and they all ran screaming and crying like and hid, and they were like barking, which they don't even bark, and they were like, get away, and they were like barking at the dad, and it was like the only time they ever did that. They were always like fully like joyously like loving everyone, and this like they could feel the energy that there was something like totally not right. It's like dogs are very intuitive, animals are very, very in tune. Anyway, so long story short, we sat down, and it was interesting because she was like, I've just been so busy. And I'm like, I told her, I said, when she said to me, well, the male's job is to provide the sperm and the female's job is to take care of the babies. She said that to me. And I was like, that is like the most chauvinistic thing I've ever heard. Like, that's the opposite of female empowerment. It's like, and she's all about female empowerment usually, or like she thinks she is. But when it came to the scenario, she was basically like, it's your job to take care of the babies because you are the mother. And I was like, wow, like normal. Like, I was like, if this was humans, if this was humans and if I was a woman and you were a man and you got me pregnant and then you were like, it's your job, I just contribute the sperm and you just take care of the babies. Like that's the mentality that the patriarchal society has been based on for thousands of years. It's really like coming to an end now. Praise God. But the idea that like, women have like this like multiple, like they have to carry thousands of extra tasks and jobs and like I see my sister just had a baby. She hasn't even slept for 6 months. I mean, it's so exhausting having a child. And I think about all the billions of women on earth that have babies, and the men, like this old patriarchal mentality, which is, well, the woman's job is to take care of that, but it's okay if they're going and providing and paying and providing for the family. But even then, they should still be a part of the children's life. Like, if you think about it, right? That would be the ideal scenario. The evolved conscious family unit is where the man and the woman, mother, father, want to be involved in the children's life, and that they're actively present and involved. And not just that because they had children, but because they want to. The energy of like, I want to be involved in the babies. I want to be involved in the cultivation of the life that was created as a result of my energy, right? But instead she was like, well, the male's job is the sperm and the woman is to raise the babies. And I was like, that is the most chauvinistic thing. Anyway, so it ended up revealing so many just dimensions of how that friendship was expired. To me, I was like, okay, I don't want any one-way streets in my life. No, like, one-sided relationship dynamics where somebody's like thinking I'm just going to do everything and she's going to show up and get her free puppy at the end of like me, not sleeping for months raising them. And I told her that. And so anyway, long story short, it ended up really basically ending our friendship. But it was interesting because what happened was, which I was okay with that. Like, I have tons of good friends. And then I was like, I don't need this. But the point, and there was other reasons why, by the way, it wasn't just that. But anyway, so I buried the baby yesterday, and this is a long story short, but basically, oddly, right after I buried the puppy, I actually did a whole completion ceremony around it, just the energy of like letting go of anything, not just about her or this, but like anything in my life that was a one-way street, that was like me giving and not getting anything back. And like I had that a lot in different capacities for whatever reason, because I'm like a big giver. So I was like putting an end to that through the ceremony of burying this puppy. And then it was so beautiful, like somehow the universe conspired that the exact same day, 1 hour later, my friend had invited her other friend to do a birthday party, which wasn't just a birthday party. It was an actual spiritual ceremony with sound bowls and drumming and singing and like breath and meditation. It was like a beautiful healing ceremony that this young woman had prepared for her birthday, and her mother and her grandmother set it up. And I was like, what a beautiful family, first of all. Like this family really supports their daughter. She was turning 23 and she had like all these amazing friends, and they all came. And it was so beautiful because, it was just like the universe showing like the beauty of the process of the birth and death. Like, as the one was buried, literally, like miraculously, an hour later, there was a birthday being celebrated in the same exact place of land with beautiful energy, beautiful friendships, beautiful family energy, like, and even like my friend Marta was here from Colombia, and her daughter showed up with her daughter, so their grandchildren were there. It was like all these grandchildren and babies and puppies, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, like this is the energy. And it wasn't like these are my new best friends, but it was like, this is the energy that I'm talking about. Like beautiful friends that show up for each other and celebrate life, and it was so unique. And I'll just say one more thing about the birthday party. The girl that was her birthday, she was turning 23, and she was so just amazing, beautiful girl in her heart. And when she did the ceremony, one of the ladies was leading the ceremony, and then she spoke, and she just said her words to her circle of people, which were family, friends, and colleagues that came to the party. She was like, I just want to thank you all so much for being in my life. Thank you for being my friend, family, coworker. Thank you. I am so grateful just to know you, and I hope that through this ceremony and through this celebration today, that you can feel even like a tiny bit of the amount of love and appreciation that I have for you. And so it's like she turned her birthday into a giving opportunity for the people that she loved. Like, she literally made it that it wasn't even about herself. And I was like, that is what it should be. But like, it's very rarely that. Usually, like, it's usually like, I'm the queen for the day. And there's nothing wrong with that. and she did have like a headpiece, and she was super goddessy, but it was like her energy was coming from, she wanted to give, and she was such in the overflow of love and appreciation that she communicated that so beautifully, and everybody really just honored her. And it was just such a beautiful, expression of the universe to show this cycle of the birth and death. And like, as you let go of something that's not in alignment and not resonant for who you are and where you want to be, with your friendships or anything, or your work, that it's not always that instantaneous, but kind of sometimes it can be. Like literally an hour later, and then all of a sudden, like, you have this exact opposite situation on the same spot. Sometimes it works like that. Leave me a comment if you had that before, where you literally let something go and it was deep, and then immediately the universe was like, and here's the other thing that's much better right here in front of you. It can happen that quickly. So I just want to mention that, because on the new moon, when we let things go, or when you get clear about what you don't want and then what you do want, and like as you start to really not just write it down, but like feel that inside, like, no to this is no, and I'm cutting it off, and it's complete, right? And then that energy is so profound, it's like sends shockwaves to the universe, and it's like, and this is what you do want, and it gives you that usually pretty soon right after. So same thing happened with a couple of friends. So like I was really kind of like feeling about different friends, and I was like letting them go, and then all of a sudden I had like these amazing new friends, like that are like into filmmaking, and they're super fun, and they want to go like e-foiling on the swim with dolphins, and so it's like interesting, like the minute you reclaim what you believe your value, your worth, what you deserve, like truly on a spiritual level, it will show up for you. That's what I really believe. And then when it's not showing up, it usually means that there's something inside that's holding on to the old energy, right? And so that's where our work is, to look at that and say, what part of me is holding on to this old energy? What part of me is allowing an old frequency that's not resonant to stay in my field as a friend, like one-way street friend, or any of that, like someone that's maybe using me, or someone that like sort of like all these dynamics that you can start to see are not healthy. And then you just say, let go, cut. And we do these cord cutting practices that we can do today if you want to just make it even more official. Let's see. Madison says, I always see people like this as, where do their beliefs and actions come from? I just love all people so much, and I know we are all victims of victims. However, I also align with letting relationships that do not serve me, like, let them go. It's been hard for me setting boundaries for these people and finding loving ways to let them go from my life. I'm still having a little bit of a challenge with it, but hoping to be able to pray and let it go. Yes, that does keep happening to me. I keep meeting incredible people. Okay. So what Madison was saying is, sometimes, if you have a hard time letting certain people go, I think the key element, and what works the best for me, honestly, is to really not even look at people like people, just see things as energy, right? And if you're like, if it's not about the person, it's really almost never personal. Which sounds weird. Like if you're cutting someone off, you're like, it's not personal. But it's not personal in the sense that this person, this energy is, let's say, just part of an energy that's expired for your life. And you're like, no hard feelings. I love you, but I'm choosing to rise above this energy, and you are bringing this energy, so I'm moving on from that energy. And it could be vice versa. Like the other person on the other side of that might be thinking the same thing. Maybe they're like, I'm done with this energy. Like for whatever reason, everybody has their own stories. So like, it's not even about the story or the energy. It's not even about the story or the person. It's literally just the energy for me. But for everybody, they're different. But like, if you could see it that way, I think it makes it a little bit easier to move on from things. So if something's like expired for you, but you're like having a hard time with that, just look at the energy of it. You're like, is this an energy that I want to keep in my life? Is this like where a better way to look at it? It's almost like the way Joe Dispenza teaches about. He talks about, is this an energy of my past, or is this an energy of my future? And if it's an energy of your past, you can usually tell because it feels very familiar. And it doesn't feel good, usually, depending. Maybe you have a good past. Maybe your past was like full of love and joy with your family. And so if it's an energy of that, then yeah, you can keep and put that into your future. But if it's an energy of like somebody using you or not treating you with respect or love or like appreciation or showing up with integrity or any of those things, then it's really just an opportunity to say, I'm saying no to this energy. And you can say it with love. You can say it with absolute compassion. I said to her, I was like, I wish you the best for your healing. And, for me, I need people that show up with integrity and want to contribute and want to be a part of, my life even, or like in that case, it was these puppies, but like the puppies were like an extension of me, right? So it was like an energy. So anyway, hopefully you guys got something out of that long story. Does anybody here have any comments or questions about what I just shared? Because I feel like these lessons are very simple in the sense of we all go through similar things. It's not that uncommon, everybody, and it can feel like you're, in this unique situation, but like ultimately kind of everybody goes through this all the time. Even the most famous, successful people go through that, in different ways. Like I think about, just as an example, I think, what is that song by Ariana Grande? It's something like, I let go. She was talking about like all the different boyfriends that taught her stuff, right? I can't remember how the song goes, but basically she's talking about, this one taught her love, this one taught her, how to let go or whatever. And she really was looking at these experiences with guys, and she wasn't holding on to these guys. She moved on. Like she got a new guy. She even married someone now. But like she made a song to share, like she learned something from each one of them, so it wasn't like wasted, or it wasn't even a negative thing if you think about it. Can be considered, in the highest level of consciousness. Like if you look at the scale of flow consciousness, interestingly, I'm going to share my screen so you can see something, because it's very interesting when you see that, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Emotional. When you see that at the highest level of consciousness, there is really no right or wrong. Everything just is, which sounds like so benign, like, oh, it just is. But so if you see it that way, it's kind of really refreshing, because then it's not like, oh, like this is horrible or this is good or anything like that. But it just is, and you can accept things because they just are, and you can feel, okay, so if that's what it is, or that's how life is in this experience, whatever, but how do I want to feel in my life, right? And that's where it gets more personal, because then we're like, okay, so that's the way life is. Like if you look at the life right now on Earth, we have a war. I can't really find the exact thing. I was going to do a screen share, but I'll find it and I'll post it in our Facebook group. By the way, we have a new Facebook group, which I just remembered, actually. I would like to see if I can, I don't know if I can share this. I'll share this video, the replay, in the Facebook group. We also posted in the app, at the Flow State app. So you can get the Flow State app at theflowstate.app if you don't have it yet. But the point is that at the highest level of consciousness, like if you were enlightened, then it's not about whether this is good or bad. It's just, it all just is. Because it is. Like if you think about, there's a war in Ukraine right now. People don't even really know how bad it is. One of my good friends is doing a documentary about it. They feel like it's going to be at least a few more years. So like they don't talk about it that much anymore because it's like old news, but it's still like really, really big. And then like the thing in Iran, I had a lot of people reach out to me about that. And so I made, I tried to share my perspective on that. But there's all these things happening in the world. So what we have to do is actually just choose what we focus on, right? Because there's so many things. And so the more you can discipline your consciousness and focus your awareness on what it is that you're creating in the world, and the positive contribution that you're here to make in the world for others, and you will notice that focus. And that's one of the other big blessings of learning the flow state and the meditations and the different practices, is literally training and disciplining your consciousness to focus on where you're going, focus on what you're creating, focus on the future more than the past, right? And as you do that, and not with fear, because if you focus on it, you're like, oh no, what is the future going to look like? And then you feel like anxiety or something. But really focus on it with excitement, anticipation, and this feeling of, I'm creating a beautiful life for myself. But not only that, I'm creating it at the contribution of others, and I'm contributing to make the world a better place with my energy. And anything that doesn't support that, I'm letting it go. So that's the way that I encourage to maybe work with this energy of letting go, is getting more in alignment with your purpose driven life. And that way, anything that takes away from that, then it's not even personal anymore. It's like, you know, you could look at that thing or that person and be like, it's taking away from my ability to manifest my life purpose and to really contribute at my highest level. So it's too costly to allow that to continue. I have to let that go. And sometimes letting it go is just in your mind or just in your heart, just letting it go. And leave a comment if you guys have a hard time letting things go. I think that that's something that like everybody perhaps has a challenge with sometimes. Let's see. Madison says, my path has been a knowledge of the mirrors that these people are of me, and letting go of the shadow parts of myself that I see in them and do not like. Mirror and shadow lessons have been really helping me letting go and hyper healing. Each way people hurt me, I've noticed, are ways that I have been hurt before and also hurt others. It's incredible and has been so helpful for my ascension. Wow, that's a really great observation, Madison. And also it's a good like way to see it, like that not only they're a mirror, right? This person or this situation is coming into your life so you can see something. Now if you say mirror, a lot of times you can say like it's making, you know, maybe you feel like, but I know, like for example, let's say someone came into your life and stole from you, but you're like, but I never steal from people, why would I be getting this? Because like the old paradigm of law of attraction is like you're attracting it because it's a match for who you are. But you got to look deeper than that. So if you're attracting something, it's not necessarily a match for who you are. For example, if you attract people who steal from you, it doesn't mean that you steal from people. What it could be is that you're attracting this because on a core level, you don't feel worthy of being treated well, or you don't feel worthy of being able to keep your money, or you don't feel worthy of a good life, or whatever the thing. So it's not necessarily like an exact mirror in the sense that some people think it is, where it's like, oh, well, I must have done something bad to people because I'm having bad things happen to me. Sometimes it's just self-worth is the reason that you're getting the mirror reflection. And so to look at that self-worth and to say, oh, okay, so where am I not loving myself? Where am I allowing people in my life that are stealing from me, draining my energy, one-way streets, they are one-sided energy? And as you clean up those dynamics, then I really feel you will stop attracting the people that could steal from you, or at least you can see it better. Like sometimes somebody steal from you, but like you kind of like let them because you were blind to like red flags, or you ignored your intuition and you didn't listen to the red flag, so you went ahead with it, and then you're like, oh, my intuition said do not work with this person, and then I ignored that, and then I decided to do it anyway, and then they stole all my money and didn't deliver what they promised. But like my intuition knew from the beginning, and it literally said don't work with this person. And then I went ahead and overrode the guidance of source energy inside of me and said, no, I'm gonna do it. And for whatever reason, my soul needed one more time to get stolen from so that I could really see this pattern, right? So sometimes it's a blessing. You say like, these are the school of hard knocks, where you have experiences that are difficult, but what it does is it teaches you like in a very hard and painful way, perhaps, what you need to see in order to grow, right? And so if that's the case in that example, if somebody's taking from you or just whatever, one-sided, and then instead of thinking of it in terms of this one experience, this like being like a standalone unique thing, look at it like, here's a energy being shown to me. Has this happened before? Is there a pattern here at all? And if so, what is the core of my vibration that could be attracting that? And being totally brutally honest with that, and being like, okay, so I have a core vibration that's attracting that, which it's not that I'm stealing from people, it's that I maybe have a core energy of not feeling worthy. And I talked about this, I think a couple weeks ago actually, because I had done this inner child meditation. I was able to finally see the root of that, where I had that in myself, and I had been attracting people that would steal from me, and it was a lot of coming from when I was a child, and I kind of developed this belief that I'm not worthy of love or whatever. I'm not worthy, a deep feeling of unworthiness because my parents, lost their minds. So anyway, it's a whole long story, but that's why I'm such a believer in inner child healing and trauma healing, because those energies stay with us until we clear them. Who here is on that journey too? And who here feels like you're getting to the core of it? Or, if you're coming to Bali, we're going to do some work around that for sure. And that's one of the main, not the main thing, but like that's one of the big things that I really like for people to walk away from after they come to my live training retreats, especially because in those environments you have an opportunity in a safe space surrounded by loving people that really just want to see you living your best life, to completely let go and heal through these practices. And so we do like holotropic breath work, we do different types of practices that lead you to this experience of liberation. And the liberation first starts with just the awareness of whatever that core energy was, and then releasing it. It's interesting. This is something that I learned over my life, is that, and I've heard this before and I thought, wow, that's interesting. They say in the light of awareness, everything is healed. And what that means is that as you shine your light of awareness onto a situation, whether it's like a core inner child wound or trauma or something that's real in your life, and you finally see it fully for what it is, that's where the healing begins. And then the healing around that is wrapping yourself in love and like really connecting to your inner child and loving her and being like, you're safe. You're safe, you're loved, everything is provided for you, you're supported, and continuously doing that inner dialogue, inner talking to yourself, your inner child, loving her or him as much as you can every day, and just stay with that until you feel so full. And that's really the like healing of that, which sounds so simple, but that's what meditation is about. Meditation allows us to go in to a timeline that's maybe in the past, can be in the future, and to see it and to bring an energy to it and to wrap it in loving, embrace, and to become one with it. And as we become one with the fragmented aspects of our inner child energy, then that's where what we call wholeness. So the wholeness is like reclaiming all those fragmented pieces of ourselves that were lost along the journey as we were in this human body, in this lifetime, or even from lifetimes in the past. Let's see. Madison said, Dashama, this is very helpful. Thank you so much. I love this perspective so much. Absolutely, letting go is so simple. Oh, that's beautiful. It's been so healing for me, acknowledging. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that it's easy for you. Some people it's not easy for them. It's not easy for everybody, I'll say that. In fact, what we consider easy versus hard is actually all in the mind, right? So we're like, it's hard for me, or we're like, it's easy for me. Like, we choose if something's easy or hard from us in many cases, right? So if it's hard for us, what it means is like we're not ready to let it go. But if it's easy, it means we're ready. It reminds me of, like, I gave this analogy before of like a fruit, let's say a papaya or a mango or a banana. If you've ever been on a like in a fruit orchard and you go to the fruit tree and you pick a fruit, And if it's not ripe and ready to come off the tree, you can't even pull it off. You'll pull the whole branch. It does not want to go. But when it's ready and ripe, it will fall off the tree by itself. It's so ready, right? So like being ready is the preparation. The being ready is like you talk to yourself, right? And you tell yourself, I am ready for the next level. And that is the being ready. And so that next level of whatever it is that you're calling in for your life, there's no room there for this old expired energy. So that's what creates the environment of being ready to let something go, is being really, truly what you're really ready for is the next thing. And you know you can't have both. You can't have this old expired energy and the new energy at the same time. So you have to let go of something. And that's how, what I feel the way to be letting go, to be ready for letting go, or to make letting go easier. Because a lot of times people say, oh, letting go is so hard. But it's not the letting go that's hard. It's actually like the preparation of like your soul and your heart to be ready for the next thing. Because as soon as you are, letting go is instantaneous, and it's not only easy, it's like natural. You're like, I love you, but I gotta go. This is not serving me and it feels bad. I gotta get out of this energy, and I'm letting you go because you're a part of that energy. Bye. That's when you know you're ready. Does that make sense, you guys? Let's see. Madison said, yes, and a huge lesson has been these people are treating me the ways I've been treating myself and my inner child. That was a big wow. Wow. I love when you have these awarenesses, you know, like as you get more and more attuned to just observing your experience of your reality and your life, and you're like, okay, I can see how, I mean, to be completely honest, you have to just take full responsibility, right? So you're like, I can see how, you know, I have been allowing that. Now, if you just look at your life and you say, yeah, I can see how I've been allowing that, that's a beautiful, bold first step. It's taking responsibility. And from that, you take the next level of responsibility, which is no longer allowing that. And that's when you reclaim your power and step up to the next level. And like that phoenix rising out of the ashes, you got your blazing, fiery wings and you're ready to fly. Make sense? Okay, so we're going to do some things today. What I felt would be really beautiful is let's do a kriya together. In the Flow State teacher training, we always do these practices, and they're also in the Flow State app, and I have a lot of things. So for those of you who are a part of this training, I'd love to hear which are your favorite kriyas, and if anybody here has one that you would like to request, we could do the one that you like the best. But otherwise, I'll choose one. And they're all unique and different. And what a kriya is a combination of breath, mantra, movement, and meditation. So it's 4 powerful aspects of yoga all combined. So all of the most enlightened yoga masters like Sadhguru or like Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, people from the Oneness Temple, all the people that I work with, they all teach kriyas. Because kriyas, it's like the fast track to clearing your energy and to getting like to a better state. You know, and you can get there also just from meditation. So there's different ways, but this is a form of meditation that combines more things all together. Like I said, breath, mantra, a movement of sort, and then meditation. It's all combined into one. And that's why it generally will move energy faster and more efficiently and more effectively, and then bring you to a better state. So like when we talk about flow state, you want to go from your whatever energy that you're feeling to a higher vibration, right? Feeling better, and your heart more open, your mind more clear, your energy field feeling like radiating. And this is something that I really want to work on with you all, which is the feeling of being magnetic, like attracting energies that are good for you. And you could even look at it the other way too, like repelling energies that are no longer aligned, or repelling energies that are not good for you. And as you do that, and we're going to do that today, in the practice of that, and then I want you to take this practice after today and keep doing it. And then maybe next week you can tell me how it went. But the idea that this is what you should be doing all the time. Like, we should all be doing this all the time, which is like really going into the core of us, like the center of your point of attraction, which is your frequency. And first of all, assessing it, like, where is it at today? Maybe you're going through a heartbreak. Maybe you're going through like a celebration, like we talked about earlier, the different phases. But like wherever you are in your energy, just assessing it, looking at it with truth, and then really looking at, okay, let's clear any kind of blocked energies and get into an open, loving, radiant energy of like positive energy. And then from there, we're going to plant the seeds of what you're going to be manifesting. And what that is the energy of that inside of you, the feeling that it's already there, the feeling that you've already manifested it, or it's already, you're like living that, and coming from that core frequency that you're already living that, and then practicing that every day, which includes a gratitude practice, just the appreciation of the wish fulfilled, appreciation of the manifestation that came, the appreciation of that you're already living your dream, and then feeling that and allowing yourself to be the epicenter that attracts it. And so you don't have to go out and do something particularly, but you might be guided to do something. There might be a point where your soul's like, go to this thing, or do this, or call this person, or whatever your thing that you're being guided to do. When you're in that vortex of creation, the energy of that, you will be guided, and then that will take you to where you need to be every step of the way. So this is how we manifest, things in life. I think everybody here does it to an extent. So we all do it, but it's like you can do it more intentionally. And that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so let's do the kriya. And I didn't see anything in the comment with any requests, so I'm going to do my choose it myself. But I just want to come over here to YouTube for a second because I have like so many comments over here. Crystal says, yes, it's not the person, it's what they put off, the energy that leaves you heavy. Exactly. Fear holds me back, but I'm rising above and learning to say goodbye in order to say to hello to what's new. Oh, good. Beautiful. Azur says, you deserve more views for your live streams. Hey, thank you. That's so sweet. Somebody sent me a rose. That's so nice. I love you. Let's see. Someone says, will there be a Black Friday yoga flow state? I want to join so badly. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, we probably will do something for that, a special deal for people who want to join the training. And we'll do that. Yeah, let's say we're going to do that next Friday, Black Friday. We're going to do a special for anybody who wants to join the training that's not currently a part of it. We'll give you a special deal. And if any of you have a friend that might want to join, then we can give them a deal. And you can get your friends involved. And I think it's so nice, like, to really have other people, like friends and stuff, that are a part of your journey. But sometimes it's really just you're done with all those friends and you're ready for the next level, and that's good too. Let's see. We got a beautiful goddess Claudia from Argentina. Welcome, beauty. Let's see. Good morning from Sunnyvale, California. I love you guys. That was a beautiful prayer. Hey, thank you, Mona. Beautiful. Please, God, give me all my dreams. That's funny. Oh, someone says the World Cup is on. Qatar versus Ecuador. Oh, wow. Someone else says, I'm in a toxic relationship in my job. There is a toxic relationship in my life. I want to change. Thank you for making me understand. Oh, wow. Yeah, power to you. You got this. Create space in your life. Move there if you need space. Exactly. I love you guys. Okay, so we're going to get started with our kriya. We got so many comments over there on YouTube. Thank you for being here. I love you all. And let's do this. Okay, so for those of you who have practiced with me before, we're just going to start to take a few deep breaths just to become more present. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out of the mouth, I like to do. Three times. Inhale. One more. Now, I want you to try this, which is inhaling the mouth, exhaling the mouth. 3 times. Hold it on the top of the inhale. Exhale. Okay, now try 3 times in and out of the nose only. Inhale. Oh, sorry. Inhale. Inhale. This last one, hold the breath. And exhale. See if you can really feel anchored into this present moment. Really feel the divine energy. If you held your breath, you might feel a tingling or some heat. I feel sweating now. And we're just going to go into a kriya. I do many different types. One of my favorites for the heart, we're going to do one for the... Actually, let me ask you guys, leave a comment if you want to do the 22-minute chakra clearing kriya. So it's 22 minutes and it does all 7 chakras. I want to see in the comments. If you guys want to do it, we'll do it. Otherwise, we would do a shorter one, like 3 to 5 minutes. But if you want to do one that's like super powerful and that will clear all your chakras, post in the comments. Let me know. Okay, Madison says yes, please. Okay, that sounds amazing. All right, let's do it because I really wanted to do this with you guys. And for those of you who haven't done it before, I do have a version of this, a very professional version of this in the Flow State teacher training and in the app. And I also have one. Yay, Becca says yes too. I also have, I think, a version of this on YouTube. So let's do it together though. Now the first one, there's 7 parts obviously because there's 7 chakras. So the first one is going to be, I'm going to point this down so you can kind of get an idea. You're going to go and do kind of like what we call like chair pose, like a squat, right? So you're going to bend your knees, sink your hips down, and then I'll hold then my arms are up. So it's like this, and then as you exhale, straighten your knees and your arms come down. So it's like this. When you come up, squeeze your booty. We're gonna do each one for 3 minutes. I'll demonstrate all 7 of them really quick so you know what we're about to do, and then we're gonna do them all. So we'll do that first one, which is for the root chakra. I call this chair kriya. It's like for your root chakra, so it strengthens your legs and your glutes, but it's also really like moves energy. And you're going to use fire breath. So you're going to exhale out of the nose, and when you exhale, when you exhale, you really want to push the air out of the belly. So that's first chakra with the chair kriya. Second chakra, there's 2 different ones that I like to do, but we'll do the simpler one for now, which is very similar actually, but you're going to have your knees wide apart. So the knees are apart like this, and your arms are up like this with the hands in a fire mudra, and you're in like a wide leg squat, and you're doing fire kriya, which is exhale, exhale. Exhaling out of the nose with the arms straight up, and your legs are in this low, wide leg lunge. The third chakra, what I like to do, there's 2 different ones that I like to do. Sometimes I'll do like abs, but sometimes we'll do this one, which is the Nali Kriya. So for those of you who don't know how to do this, I'm going to do it with you, and then you can see, you can try it, and like keep trying it, you're going to get it eventually. So it's like this. I always put my hands right here on my hips and kind of bend the knees a bit so you sink down, and you take a deep breath. Now watch this, I'm going to push all the air out, then pull in and up. So this practice is kind of hard, so in the beginning, if you don't get it right away, don't worry. But just try it. The more you try it, just like putting your awareness to that, you're going to get it. And then what happened to me, like I couldn't do that for many years, and then all of a sudden I could just do it. So just keep trying it because you're going to get it. But we'll do that one for 3 minutes too, like just different rounds, and you can rest in between. But we're going to do this together. Now the 4th chakra, it's with the heart. So we do this part of the kriya, which is like this. Inhale, open like this. Exhale, round forward. So it's like this. But you can do it with a mantra. So the mantra is Har, H-A-R. har. The other one you could do is love, if you prefer an English word. So har, or love. And we do that one for 3 minutes. Really good for your upper back and shoulders, really opens you up and moves energy in this heart chakra. Then the 5th chakra is, there's different ones that we do, but the one that we're going to do today, it's with a spinal twist. You're going to have your hands on your shoulders and you're going to say thank you over and over. So thank you, and just rotating side to side and repeating the thank you mantra. And if you can, while you're doing that, think of what you're thinking, right? Think of what you're grateful for. So not just arbitrary gratitude, which you could do that too, but more like thank you, and then in your mind you're thinking of my mother or my father, or like my home or my dog, or like my health or yoga or flow state community, or whatever you're grateful for. And just like you can put an energy and an intention with your gratitude, and that's really powerful. And so that's for the 5th chakra, and we're going to say it out loud. And then the 6th chakra, so there's different ones that we can do for this. The one that we're going to do today, I like to do what you really want to kind of get to a place where you can focus on like in the back of your mind screen. So we'll have our eyes closed, and you want to focus even though your eyes are closed, your awareness at the back of the mind screen in the 3rd eye. And then when you're focusing there, we're going to be doing a mantra together. And the mantra that sometimes I do for this is called Ang Sang Wahe Guru. So it's like Ang Sang Wahe Guru, Ang Sang Wahe Guru. So that just keeps your mind really like focused. But you want to focus all your attention to your 3rd eye. And this will become very bright, and you'll see a light here. And you might start seeing visuals and stuff. So this is a way that you can train your focused awareness of your 3rd eye to be stronger, and then that will help you to become better at visualizing. The other thing you could do, if that's like too much for you, is get a candle and then just focus on the flame. And that's a more simpler version, but I like that one too. And then the last one, the 7th chakra, is what I love to do is what we call like the buzzing breath. So what we do is you want to make like a buzzing, so it's like this, but we're going to direct the buzzing energy. It's like humming. So you put your tongue on the roof of the mouth and you direct it all the way to your crown, to the top of your head. You can hear, like if you go a higher pitch, you'll feel it higher. Then like, then you'll feel it here. And then if you're going throat, if you want to feel it in the heart, it goes even lower. You'll feel it down lower with a lower vibration. And then the 3rd chakra, see if you can direct it down there. And then all the way down to the root. And you'll see, and we'll circulate for 3 minutes. So we'll go all the way to the root, and then we'll come back up the 2nd chakra, 3rd, 4th, all the way up. We'll do a few rounds until 3 minutes is up. At the end of the 7th chakra practice, then we're going to hold the breath for 1 minute and have 1 minute of silence. And so that's the practice. But you'll see at the end of this, what I love about it, and that's why I love to teach it, is that it feels so amazing. And I always feel like what I really plan to do is have the discipline to do it every single morning. Because when I do it in the morning, my life is like so different. And your life is just so aligned. You just cleared all your energy just like in 20 minutes. Let's see. Madison says, are you able possibly take a step back so we can see you better? Actually, I can. Let's see. I'm going to put myself over here, if I can. Alright, here we are. Here's my cool place. My puppy, what is it? Tiny angel. You? Yeah, puppy. You guys, look at the fluffy. He's like, hey guys, what's happening? Okay, pardon my setup. We're gonna move some stuff. Okay, so Zoe's gonna do it with us. Hi guys, I was sleeping. Why you wake me up, lady? Look at him. Isn't it cute? Little sleepy puppy. Okay. All right, you guys ready? What we're gonna do actually, we're gonna do this with music. So I like to do it with music, and I have some fun playlists on Spotify, so if you guys want, I shared a bunch of those actually in our WhatsApp group for the people that are coming to Bali, but also I share all the time, so hopefully you have some of my cool musics. Okay, let's do it. So we're going to do 3 minutes. I'm setting the timer. Be good. So it's like this. Don't forget, exhale, fire breath. Squeeze your booty. One minute to go. And release. Finito. All right, now the next one. 3 minutes. Wide legs like this, squat. Arms up like this, fire breath. Pull in and up on Mula Bandha, and you can pulse it like this if you want, but you don't have to. The other thing you can do, if you want, you can stay static. Or with this one, you can do the dancing. The dancing! It's like, we call this horse dance or goddess pose. twerk if you want. Because this is all for the second chakra. Just keep your legs low. One minute to go. We could live together, walking on, walking on, walking on the moon. Walking back from your house, walking on the moon. Walking back from your house, walking on the moon. We can hardly touch the ground, walking on the moon. My feet hardly make a sound, walking on the moon. 10 seconds to go. Walking on the moon. All right. Woo! Alright, now we're going to do the Nali Kriya. If for whatever reason you're like, I'm not doing Nali Kriya because I'm not able to do it, you could do sort of like sit-ups or something. Like you can do different things to strengthen your core. You just want to work on the third chakra. But we're going to do this one. So you take a deep breath in. Wait. Then exhale everything out. Then pull in and up. I usually do like 10 pumps for every breath. So you're gonna do 3 minutes. So in, exhale out, in and up. I actually like the breathing. It makes you kind of tired, exhausted, but it's a good thing because it's kind of like clearing to the core. Okay, let's go again. Exhale everything out. Two more rounds. Takes about 30 seconds per round, so that's kind of like... Hopefully you guys are doing this. All right, we're gonna do the last one. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. The last chakras we're going to do sitting. Whew. Okay. We sit for the heart chakra. This one we want to do like this. So it's like inhale and exhale, and we go like har, har. 3 minutes. Har, 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 or you use the word love, love, love. Both are good. Start. Love, 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 heart, 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 love, 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 love. My baby, come here. Say hi, guys. Love, 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 my baby angel. Love, 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 love. 1 minute left. Love, 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 love. Say hey, guys. Love, 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 and love. Yeah. All right, my babies, who wants to? All the puppies want it out. Now, the next one, I love this next one. It's the one about gratitude. And if you ever want to do this on your own, you can do, instead of love, you can do the thank you one 2 in a row because it's just such a good vibe. But basically, you're just going to put your hands on the shoulders and side to side. You want to rotate from your core, so keep your spine straight. And then thank you, thank you. So it's repeating the word, the mantra, thank you, over and over and over. So it's like this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, with a smile on your face. And think about what you're grateful for. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. And thank you. Beautiful. Okay, so we're at the sixth chakra next. I like this mantra the best for this, I don't know why. Wait. So you go like this, sang, close your eyes and focus on the back of your mind. Ang sang waheguru means the light of the teacher within. Ang sang waheguru, ang sang waheguru, ang sang waheguru, ang sang waheguru. You want to engage Mula Bandha and bring the energy up. Waheguru, ang sang 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 waheguru. Focus on the back of your third eye. Ang sang waheguru, ang sang waheguru, ang sang waheguru. Spine is straight. Waheguru, ang sang 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 Waheguru. All right. Whew. Final one. Now the last one, we're doing the buzzing breath. So just remember, it's like this. But you want to raise the pitch based on the chakra. So if you're going for the higher one, then you're going to do, and then going to the third eye. See if you can feel it in that energy center. The throat, the heart, and keep going all the way for 3 minutes, all the way down, all the way back up. We'll start at the crown. Third eye. Throat. Heart. Solar plexus. Sacral. Root. Sacral again. Solar plexus. Heart. Throat. Third eye. Crown. Third eye. Throat. Heart. Solar plexus. Sacral. Root. Sacral. Solar plexus. Heart. Take a deep breath. Throat. Third eye. Last one on the crown. And we're going to do 1 minute holding the breath. So you're going to inhale everything in and then hold the breath. And if you can, pulse Mula Bandha and put the tongue on the roof of the mouth. So we'll do this with the eyes closed. That's all I want. Inhale. And you could tap on your heart if you want. And release. And just sit with the silence and see if you can feel any shift that you feel inside, any feeling that changed inside of you that might feel an opening or exposing a rawness, revealing to you your power and vulnerability at the same time. Just feel that. Place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. We're going to complete our practice with 3 ohms. The first one is for yourself. The second one is for your family, your community. The third one is for the whole world. So take a deep breath in. Inhale. One more. And this final one was for the whole world, and I really want to send love out to the whole world. So let's do that together, just sending loving, healing energy to all the people in Ukraine, to all the families, the children, the mothers, the people being affected by the war from Russia, the people in Iran, the Persian people who have also been having tremendous experience of genocide and horrendous things happening on the planet. And we just want to send everybody love, healing, support, guidance, strength. May all their needs be met. May they make it through this challenging time on earth and rise above it, more in alignment, more empowered, more supported, in total surrender and trust of the divine, knowing that we are all exactly where we're meant to be and everything is happening for us on this very unique and divine journey of life. Send loving, healing energy to all beings everywhere, and may all beings be happy and be free. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Satnam, namaste. And you can come back. Does anybody have any questions or want to share anything about that practice? I'd love to know. Let's see, someone says, thank you. Love, that opened my heart really wide and I needed this today. Oh, that's so beautiful. Azure blue. Thank you. So happy to hear that. Thank you for joining. And yeah, for anybody who felt that this practice is beneficial for you, I highly encourage, you can watch the replay. You can do this every day. I actually think it's such a great thing to include in the Miracle Morning practice. If you're doing the Miracle Morning, and you can add this in, it's 22 minutes. You could shorten it. Instead of 3 minutes each chakra, you could do 1 minute. So it would be like an 8-minute practice, or you could do 2 minutes each, and then that would be 15-minute practice. So it really depends on how much time you have available in the morning or whenever you want to do it. But you could also do this before bed. It's just such a beautiful and powerful energy clearing. And who here felt a shift? Does anybody have any experience that you want to share from that? And also, have you done this before with me? Because I have taught this in various situations. I have, like I said, it's in the Flow State app. You can join that. It's at theflowstate.app, the website, and then you could, it's in there. It's in the Flow State teacher training in one of our modules about the kriyas and the chakras. And I just love this practice, but there's various sort of versions of this. So I've taught it, but then I always kind of add in different ones or switch it around a little, because there's a few different practices for each chakra. So if you're thinking of practicing or teaching this to others, you can also switch it up so it's not always the same if you want to. And I have different versions of it. Rosie said, this was brilliant. I feel so leveled out and like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Wow, that's beautiful. Did you want to say something, Madison? You came on the camera. Let's say I have a quick I have to run, but I'd love to share real quick. Oh, okay, yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that was wonderful. And I wanted to say thank you so, so much. And a quick share is that after I talked to you for the first time and I was considering whether I was going to join Flow State, I actually was like stalking you all over YouTube and I was like, is this aligned with me? And I actually found, I think it was one of these workshops where you were teaching all of these. And I was like, this is amazing. And I was like doing it and you were just such a light and you were like, you were gonna do the thank you for this day song for one of them and it like didn't work and you were like, oh, I really wanted to do the gratitude song and it was just so cute and I was like, oh my god, I just love her so much and like I feel amazing after all of these crazy things that I just did and like I have to do this is amazing. And so you're just such a light and I'm just so grateful to have you as a teacher and yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your beautiful words. That means so much to me, and I'm really, really happy that you feel it. And that's the beautiful thing about these practices is that you really feel them. And I think that that's what got me like hooked on this for 17 years. It's like a medicine that will always be with you, and it's such a gift to be able to share it with others. So for people even if they don't want to become like a full-time yoga teacher, like literally to be able to share this with your daughter, your friend, your mother, your sibling, whatever, when they're going through some challenging time, and just be like, hey, let's breathe and let's move and move the energy. And there's different ways of moving energy. You can go for a run. I mean, but this is very targeted and very specific. So that's what makes it so unique, because I go for a run, I don't feel the same, after, right? Or whatever. So there's very unique ways that we can like target the energy that's stuck and move it through, and this practice is one of those, but like we have tons of different ones, and like the tapping is a good one, so I like to add that in at the end. You can do a little bit of the tapping, but like EFT is such a good way of moving energy. And what we do in Flow State Institute a lot of times is we combine practices into what I call like a fusion. So that one had like kriya, mantra, meditation, and also breath work, and it had a little bit of a workout and chakra balancing, and then it also had tapping, and then the breath hold. So, like as you get more exposure to the different practices, you can get creative with it as well. And then you can be like, actually, I really like this one for this first chakra because I have a few different ones, and like
Totally.
it makes it really, really fun to be able to customize it. But thank you so much for your beautiful message, and we love to.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you said Satnam at the end, I remembered the Satnam, Satnam. And so I started doing that. I was like, yes, this is so good. So good. It's so
Yes.
good.
Well,
Mwah.
thank
Thank
you
you
so much. I
so
love
much.
you. I love you all, and thank you for being here. Happy new moon and flow state, everybody, and anybody. If you know anybody who would like to join us, you can. Like I said, you're all affiliates. You can earn commission for sharing and spreading the word, and we would love to have your friends involved as well. And if they can come to Bali, it's going to be an amazing way to start the new year. And I'm so excited to meet you there. For those of you who are coming, I love you. Many blessings, and we'll see you next Sunday.